What's up, guys, and welcome back to First Departure versus Gigabyte Mineski Game 2 from the NXTGame Dota 2 Invitational, of course, provided by NXTGame, as per the title, but also with a little bit of support from esportgaming.com. They had the odds roughly at 50-50, and if you bet on Mineski, you're feeling pretty good about yourself right now, because they just destroyed First Departure in Game 1. Honestly, wasn't even close, remotely anything near to close, but First Departure have another chance. It's a best of 3, and we'll see if they could bring it back, although, yeah. It's hard to shake off a loss like that. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Danelie for the second game. We have the silencer being banned out, so First Departure, that last game, definitely left some scars.
I'm pretty sure a lot of teams aren't comfortable playing up against a silencer, since it's a hero that's hardly picked up. Although, I have a feeling he might be picked up a little bit more frequently in the Southeast Asian scene, considering how we've seen 2 games where silencers just stopped. But it wasn't just the silencer, it was also the team behind him. I'm surprised First Departure go for a Winter Women first pick, though. This hero last game had no impact, but they're going to go for it again. Is she really worth that first pick?
With how First Departure's game plan should have went, I think Winter Wyvern is still worth the first pick. Like, they put a lot of stock into Miracle making those plays, and Winter Wyvern's a great hero, just saying, oh, Miracle, you're in a bad spot, no big deal, bro, I got you. Here's the embrace, you're fine, keep fighting, or, do whatever you want. Heroes like Winter Wyvern, heroes like Dazzle, should be right up First Departure's alley, but when you have Miracle as a non-factor, well, then that entire game plan falls apart. So, First Departure going to grab the 2 cold heroes in the Winter Wyvern and Tusk. Lots of defensive power there as Mineski grabbed the lane power instead. Queen of Pain, most likely for mid, and Darkseer again, probably towards Jesse Vash.
This Tusk, have you seen First Departure play this Tusk before? You said last time it was a respect ban or a ban for Miracle. Does Miracle play Tusk?
I don't think it's Miracle that plays him.
No.
I don't think I've seen him play.
Along the lines of a Miracle ban. Okay, it's probably just going to be that standard position for Tusk that we typically see. He just plays like a Spirit Breaker. You're just there for the snowball. It just helps set up for your team with the ice shards and even just throwing out the slow. So probably just it's just probably going to be either the supporting duo, or do we sometimes see offlane Tusk?
I don't think I've seen it in any of these C games. That being said, if you put Tusk in the off lane, you're going to go up against a Darkseer, and Tusk is not going to have a great time there. As we saw in the last game, Spirit Breaker had a really bad time there. Tusk cannot do much else. So it seems like right now in this game, the roaming kind of Tusk is looking a little bit better, simply because the laning Tusk won't really get anything done. But again, that's what happens whenever a team picks up heroes like the Darkseer with a Queen of Pain. Like, it's really hard to actually do anything to these 2 heroes in lane unless you pick up laning powerhouses. I'm talking, Skywrath mages, I'm talking heroes with a huge abundance of disables. You need a Shaker to start off those fights, but that's not going to happen because he was first banned. First Departure already looks like they may be falling victim to the we don't have enough early game type of, well, I guess it's not a plan, but it's I don't even know what to call it. Naga Siren's going to be the pick, though.
Nagasar. It feels like this is just a deny pick from First Departure, if they were possibly thinking about picking that up for Miracle. They are going to pick an anti-mage up themselves, though, so this is going to give them some late game potential to play up against the Nagasar, which could be good or bad for First Departure. Because now that they've picked this anti-mage, they're going to have to go for the 4 protect 1 or 4 roam 1 farm kind of play style, and Mineski are going to do the exact same thing. And for First Departure to win this game, not only do they have to beat those 4 heroes in the 4v4 engagement, but they've got to somehow find an opening to kill a Naga Siren. And we've all seen how annoying it is to kill a Naga when you don't have anything to go in and jump right on top of her. Because she can just song and either buy time for the team to come through, or she just TPs out.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard for them. I guess, looking at it the other way, Mineski, they have to take a 4v4, and they don't really have any great ways dealing with this anti-mage. Granted, they haven't really picked up any of their support heroes just yet. They will need heroes with CC, some sort of fast disable, to actually get on top of them, but, or a gyrocopter pick. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a support Siren after all. Ensnare is pretty darn good, but, versus Winter Wyvern versus Tusk, Song of Siren doesn't really have anything huge to set up for, although it is getting a little bit bigger with the Vacuum, Sonic Wave, and the Call Down, of course. I don't actually mind this. I think Naga Siren is not the best support hero, but when you partner her up with Gyrocopter, the prime weakness of her not having enough early game power is kind of balanced out by the fact that Gyrocopter is such an early game powerhouse.
Yeah. So I've got no issues that they're going to be putting the Naga into the supporting role. One thing I do not like about Naga as a support, though, is she cannot effectively harass anyone out of the lane without receiving a little bit of harassment herself. She's a melee hero. She has a lot of armor, which she is similar to a Ogre Magi, if you want to think about it that way. Both very tanky heroes because they've got plenty of armor to work with, but her poke is significantly weaker than an Ogre Magi.
Mm-hmm. I'd be scared about fist fighting an Ogre Magi. I don't know if I'd be that scared about fist fighting a Naga Siren. She doesn't really have the health pool to really back up that armor.
Exactly.
So it's just a really,
so she's got very little poke.
Yeah, a really hard nut to crack, but it's a very small nut also. Yes, that's the metaphor I'm choosing to go for.
I hate, what kind of nuts are small?
And very hard? I don't know. Peanuts are kind of the smallest that come to
No.
mind.
Peanuts are too soft.
Yeah, I know.
How about a...
I don't know.
A walnut. Well, how big are
Sure.
walnuts? Because I've never seen a walnut.
If you like make a circle with your thumb and fit in your index finger, it's about that size. Lion's gonna be the pick though for Mineski, so they will get even more disable to deal with the anti-mage. Now with the Naga Siren, they are pretty well off in the disable department. We also have the Storm Spirit brand from previous, so first departure maybe gonna struggle towards their mid lane. Queen of Pain versus, well, really any hero that's left in the pool should be a pretty favored matchup for that co-op.
I'm looking at Mineski's draft. They picked some incredibly greedy supports. You got Naga Siren and Lion, which are both supports that need levels, and Lion needs a blink. Naga would preferably like items. If she doesn't have them, I guess it's okay, but these are very greedy supports. It's not like a Crystal Maiden that can just roam around after level 2 and help her team out. No, these heroes need extra. I guess you could compare them to a Visage if you really have to. Heroes that need their levels. So I'm not too sure how Mineski is going to balance out the supports with their cores.
I think they just run an offensive tri-lane. Like, Anti-Mage doesn't really do that much in lane. Rubik and Winter Wyvern are great as far as utility is concerned. Like, being able to save someone with Winter's Embrace, that's exactly what you want. You're golden.
Oh.
But, ooh.
This is fun.
Is first departure... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, our first departure going to put the Anti-Mage mid, because I really hope not. It's going to be a Broodmother mid lane, it looks like, for Miracle. This doesn't really change anything, so I'm just going to continue what I was thinking before. Offensive tri-lane versus Rubik, Winter Wyvern. As awkward as Naga Siren and Lion are, as long as they provide disables from the Gyrocopter, they'll be able to do quite a lot in that lane and really mess up First Departure's game plan. The Broodmother in the mid lane versus Queen of Pain. First of all, we don't really see that much Broodmother mid. That's very, very rarely seen. Versus Queen of Pain, matchup actually seems pretty decent for the co-op still.
Yeah, especially when Jules gets the levels into the Screamer Pain, then Miracle won't be able to spam as many Brood links as he would like. But maybe pre-level 4, if he can get a couple of harassment hits out there and really just throw the spiderlings at Miracle, he can't defend himself. And I don't think they're going to be they should expect it because you can see the player tag, unless Miracle decides to play in a different lane, but that's highly unlikely.
Well, we'll see where they actually want to go. They're putting the Queen of Pain up towards top right now, although actually no, Trolley does have 2 shared tangos in a Wraith Band. This actually looks like a mid lane Gyrocopter build, and I actually think mid lane Gyrocopter is not that bad, but I do think he's pretty bad up against Broodmother. There's not much that you could do there, so I hope for Mineski's sake that they're not going to go for that one, but as they load out into their lanes, they're going to put Jules on the Queen of Pain. Cuckoo is on the Naga Siren support. Trolley's going to be playing the Gyrocopter. 1029 on the line. That leaves Jesse Vash once again on the Darkseer. He's going to be going up against the Tusk, and as I said before, it should be a pretty easy lane for Mineski.
I promise I won't screw up this time. So we got First Departure playing on the Dire side. Kai's going to be handling our Winter Wyvern. Lulz is going to be sitting on top of the ladder, getting ready to take down that Bounty Rune, or even attempt to jump for it. Lubby is going to be behind him, playing on that Rubik. Down towards the bottom section, we have Miracle going to be playing on that Broodmother, and he will be able to get the Bounty Rune, whereas Polison waiting inside the base to go for the creep block.
Alright, so assuming the gyrocopter is going to go towards mid lane and now grabbing the bounty rune, it seems like he's will. Miracle has a very small advantage here because he has more tangos, and when you're talking about racing to clear out wards and whatnot, the more tangos you have, because you can just eat wards, it actually does provide quite a lot of value. So I'm not sure if this mid lane is going to go how Mineski really wanted to. Rocket Barrage is nice, but it is only nice if you could actually see your target and keep up with them. And you cannot really do either of those things versus a spider.
Well, Trolley does have a sentry ward, so if he decides to, he can put it down whenever he wants. If he want, oh goodness, we're gonna have ping issues, aren't we? This is not gonna be fun. But yes, he does have a sentry ward, so if he needs to, he can either decide to put it down during a gank, or he can just put it down in the lane. And when he throws some flat cannons, and at least he'll hit some of the spiderlings and hopefully get some CS.
Well, but for the most part, I think Miracle should be a-okay. We also do have the Lion. Think about rotating down towards the bottom lane. Just going to give Jesse Vash an additional kick in the lane there. This is going to put a pretty awkward dual lane up towards top. Queen of Pain and Naga Siren both do need their levels, so sharing lanes as Queen of Pain, typically not what you want to do. As powerful as Queen of Pain is in lane, as nice as it is to have a Naga Siren to help out and poke a prod occasionally, First Departure should have the edge here. They are going to start to go aggressive onto Jules right now, lift him up, force out the blink, and even now Cuckoo's in a little bit of an awkward position right now, taking hits from 3 heroes. There's no mana break, so they're going to be able to trade hits decently, and yeah, this Naga Siren is actually tanking up quite a bit with that 4-man shield.
Don't underestimate the Naga Walnut. But seriously though, Cuckoo's doing a lot of work with the 6 armor and the poor man's shield. First Departure hardly puts a dent into him. So I guess that is an advantage for Mineski in this lane. Just have Cuckoo tank up all the damage and hopefully Jules can be in the back lines to do something. But with a Queen of Pain that's gone for first point into Blink, she's going to provide no offensive capabilities at all up against tri-lane. Cuckoo though getting a little over-eager, trying to fight up against these heroes and tanking tower shots because he's being blocked up by Lulz, and he's going to chase after him. Kai's going to be there, and he will finally get the last hit, and that's actually going to go to Lulz as well, but he's going to be chased up by Jules. Jules is going to finish off the anti-mage, but looks like the Queen of Pain is going to die in the process. Is that worth it?
I think it is. I think it is. Like, you get the kill on the anti-mage, you slow him down, even though, yeah, he did just claim a kill. You got to get something out of that situation. Queen of Pain now grabs level 2, so she now does have some offensive power. Miracle trading hits with Trolley, and not really in a convincing fashion. He'll be just fine, but yeah, that Naga Siren, as nice as it is to have that much armor and damage block, you can't really afford to get that close that often. Now that the Anti-Mage has his point in the mana burn, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Cuckoo to do anything in this lane. Like, if he steps up, he'll start to trade hits, but he will very quickly run out of the ability to do anything. There's an ensnare forcing the Anti-Mage out, but Anti-Mage still has a ton of regen, and Naga Siren does not have enough mana sustain to actually continuously do that. In fact, she has no mana sustain.
This is going to be a problem for Cuckoo. He's not going to be able to do anything in this lane until he regens enough mana to go for another spell. Looks like they're going to go for a jump onto Cuckoo, and they know Cuckoo doesn't have anything. Mistake from the Naga Siren. He's very tanky though. He actually might be able to outrun them, and Lulz, he's not going to go for a committal into the blink. So that's gonna be a missed kill there for First Departure, but it will send Cuckoo back to the fountain.
I don't think they misplayed that at all. It's just not quite enough damage to deal with this Naga Siren. It is, I guess, kind of nice the Naga Siren started that out with such low amount of mana, no extra damage from the mana break, which may have been the difference, but either way, Queen of Pain is now going to be sitting up towards top in pretty much a solo position. Take a look at the other lanes, how they're actually progressing. Gyrocopter sitting toe-to-toe with the Broodmother right now. They've been trading hits pretty consistently, and well, Gyrocopter's build is that of a safe lane Gyrocopter. No rocket just yet, because it's a Broodmother. You're not going to do that much with it anyway. But down towards bottom lane, the Tusk is actually having a pretty decent time. He's level 4 right now, and the line being down here isn't really doing that much. I think Jesse Vash could be doing much better if he was just by himself.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. 1029 could probably go into the jungle and just keep stacking the jungle, so that Trolley gets even more CS.
He has to blink out. Anti-Mage not going to blink after him. The offensive power for First Departure is kind of limited to right clicks, but still, they're doing pretty well in this top lane.
Yeah, they're not losing to the dual lane, so as long as this is happening, it's absolutely okay. First Departure have drafted supports that are there to protect the anti-mage. They're not supposed to be aggressive, so even though they're going up against the dual lane and they might not kill them every time, their job is just to keep lulz alive. So they're doing their job, it's fine. He will take a lot of harassment though by Cuckoo as well as Jules, and that, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Every
jinxed
time.
that.
Look at them. They're doing so well and keeping their carries alive. Carry instantly
I cry
dies.
every time.
Yeah,
Oh
but that's what happens when your Winter Wyvern is out of clarities. Lubby
Mid lane
also
though?
doesn't have any mana, so it's mid lane. Yeah, Trolley gonna lay the call down to Miracle, trying to go for the kill, Broodmother, but she will fall short. That injection of Spiderlings didn't quite do enough, and Trolley got a kill where really he should not be getting any kills in this mid lane.
Yeah, that was a little miscommunication there by Miracle. You knew that he was trying to go for the final snipe before Trolley was going to kill him in the end anyway, but just not quite enough. And he is going to go for the G ward, so there's going to be no free lane. Tusk, on the other hand, is taking a lot of harassment, and he will go down to Jesse Vash down there. Unfortunate for First Departure. They're losing heroes in all 3 lanes, and they're getting nothing back.
Tusk almost got the Lion. It was very close, but of course Surge is pretty good as a defensive tool versus a hero with no mana. Seems like we're having a lot more mana issues in this game than any other given game, but they turn things around to get the kill on the Tusk, and that's going to solidify Jesse Vash's position in this lane. Tusk's going to teleport right back in, but even with the residual Fountain Regen, I'm not really sure you want to mess with this Darkseer. He will mess you up, probably a lot harder, so it is across the board. Not terrible lanes for Mineski. At least I thought they would be going a lot worse compared to how they're actually progressing. They're getting kills, and First Departure, aside from a couple of engagements up towards top, not really that much. They're playing the much slower farm game, and that's not really going to benefit them that much. Although they're going to catch Jules. He really wants this rune. He's not going to get it either. Miracle grabs an Invis rune, so now double Invis for him. He's going to chase after this Queen of Pain. Gotta scream right now to clear out those Spiderlings. Injection, though. Gonna get the kill from downtown.
How painful is it to die and have spiders just come out of you? Oh, Snowball
know.
gonna go right into the gyrocopter, and looks like Trolley's gonna be in absolute trouble. He's actually blocked it by 3 heroes, but they will get the kill onto the Brood, the Tusk, and the Winter Wyvern. That was a triple kill for Trolley, who was supposed to die, but it just goes the other way. First Departure.
If that is rolling in towards a safe lane gyrocopter, you get the kill and you're probably fine every time. But because he's mid lane, he's that much tankier, and of course the Lion coming in there like a friggin' hero as well, landing a nice spike, of course, throwing the Hex as well. And First Departure just quickly run out of burst damage. They don't really have that much coming out of this Broodmother, honestly. Like, yeah, she'll be able to put in a lot of harassment if she has an army with her, but she didn't. She was completely all alone. So Gyrocopter turns things around in a big way, gets fed 3 kills, and suddenly he's 4-0-0. He has a pretty sizable stack to work with. Trolley is going to have a pretty good game. Up towards top, Cuckoo's going to dive right into the tower because he doesn't give a damn about anything. He's probably going to die, and I don't really know what the plan was there, but sure, Naga Siren down. In the meantime, Lion getting dove by Miracle, is trapped in the trees of the spiders, gets injected. Jesse Vash going to come right in. Has a vacuum, has a surge, has Ion Shell, but Miracle has the jukes. And, well, you run right into Trolley. There's no true sight here, so Miracle should be A-okay. But, yeah, towards top, Naga Siren, I'm not really sure what that was all about. And at the same time, ooh, they dive in towards the Queen of Pain. And they do get that kill as well. First Departure slowly but surely starting to land some kills. But Miracle, gets too close, gets burned down with Ion Shell, 15 HP. Just need 1 tick of Ion Shell. Miracle's going to limp himself up to the high ground, and it looks like he'll be fine.
Don't know why I popped the ultimate. Is there any... Does it heal him or something? No?
I think maybe he just wanted a little bit more mana. He's now going to go towards Trolley. Another injection going to get that kill with Snowball in for Peloson as well. Miracle again. No, will not get away. They actually get the spike on Peloson as well, giving them 2 kills instead of just 1. Yeah, that was pretty deep to go for that dive. But Silly Alpha Gyrocopter is worth quite a bit, so it's not going to be terrible for them. But yeah, it's a 2-for-1, and you shouldn't really feel too good about that, especially since Lion is now halfway towards his blink if he wants to go for that.
God, Mineski, they're playing very, very well today. I wasn't expecting them to do this well up against First Departure, because we've seen how First Departure plays when they do have games going their way. They play very solid. They do. It's pretty good, but last game, this game, it's not looking convincing. And if this keeps up, even though they have an anti-mage, I don't really think they're going to be able to go up against Mineski toe-to-toe. The only way I could really see them winning is hopefully going for some really Alliance-esque split push, but that's not going to happen when Lulz isn't even close to a Battle Fury, and Miracle, you can split push with a Broodmother, but you have to hide under your web, and if Mineski just buys a gem, that's Miracle already in trouble, and he's being chased up by Darkseer, who's pretty much killing all of his babies.
Off towards top, Trolley pressured out to call down first. Second missile connects onto one, but it will keep him safe. Here comes the smoked up Lion. Has a Finger of Death. Now that's a nasty surprise for someone at FD. We'll see how long Lion actually wants to sit here. If they bring in another hero, if they bring the Queen of Pain, oh, finds Lubby. Just wanted to shop. That's all he wanted to do. Spike Finger dead. And in the meantime, well, Queen of Pain's getting farm on the bottom lane. Broodmother's feeding quite a bit of cash over to Jesse Vash over in mid, so it's just a free kill from Mineski, and they can continue with these lanes. First Parcher need more heroes in more lanes. They can't really afford to let these lanes stay the way they are.
This is just going downhill, further and further downhill for First Departure, whereas Mineski, they're getting things everywhere. They're getting so much farm. They're farming spiderlings. You could say they're farming heroes to an extent. Yes, they're losing some heroes almost equally to First Departure, but their play is just so much more crisp. They're working so well as a team. First Departure's trying to recover, but their recovery rate is just too slow. You're running an anti-mage. Oh
Jesse
god,
Vash needs to mech up right now. He does have it, right? Oh, he's back into the Sonic Wave. Okay,
wow.
Well, he doesn't even mech up. No mana, no problem. They just bring him right back in, and for the second time, First Departure get cleaned up in the mid lane simply because they don't have enough damage to finish the job. First, it's the very high-level Gyrocopter. Then it's the Darkseer, level 11. He doesn't even use the mech, which is really freaking surprising, but lining straight up for that Sonic Wave, and First Parcher lose 3.
So, did everything I say become even more relevant, Mike?
I would say so.
Oh my goodness.
Also, First Parcher, they should stop messing with this mid lane. Like, it just hasn't really been going well for them, and they also lose a top lane tower in the meantime. That's just, yeah, not what's supposed to happen there.
Yeah. So, I have a question for you.
I hopefully have an answer.
No, you haven't answered. This is probably the first time anyone's gonna ever ask you. For some reason, is it trendy to cover up your anti-mages? Because it's TI at any tournament that I've seen.
Hold on, Jesse Vash, he's gonna get dropped. Finally, they kill. Call down a little bit too late. And yes, anti-mage is, he comes from a very religious society where you have to cover yourself up a lot, so that's how he rolls.
Okay, because every team I've seen, someone who mains an anti-mage just covered up. Burning set, hood, scarf, everything.
It gets even worse if you have the, like the blindfold and the mouthpiece. Yep. You just completely 100% covered up, like 0 visibility status. This one's actually fine, like he'd actually see, or at least I imagine he would be able to see decently. But they get the kill on the Darkseer, this time bringing in one additional hero for just a little bit extra burst, and that's nice and everything, but it's a lot of commitment for just a Darkseer kill, and Darkseer right now, he has the mech, he is very close to Guardian Greaves if he wants to, he'll be just fine. Oh, blink up towards top, Lul's in a lot of trouble right now. How good is the chain stun? It's pretty much non-existent. You have a Hex Lion. I heard Hex is a pretty good skill. I think you should use it next time.
I think he just got too greedy and thought that the Finger of Death would have been enough, but it's an anti-mage. He's got a point into spell shield. So overall he's got 44% magical damage resistance. So yeah, as you said, I'm surprised he didn't bother going for the Hex. If he felt like he needed mana, he could just mana drain it, right? He's got 3 points in a mana drain.
If you are messing with an anti-mage, you take no chances, especially this early on when you're just trying to slow down his farm. You're not trying to kill him to like make a push happen or anything like that, even though you probably can. You just want him off the board so that you have to worry about him a little bit less in the future. You use all of your mana there. No questions asked every single time, so it's a little bit of a mistake there from 1029. Anti-Mage gets to live. However, they're still getting objectives across the map. They cleared out a whole bunch of Spiderlings over towards the mid lane, and Broodmother couldn't save any of them. They trade tier 1 for tier 1. They actually do see Miracle. It looks like Jules actually didn't, so they're just going to keep on pushing because they have the mech, might as well. Here's where Mineski's draft is not at its strongest. They don't really have great heroes at pushing down structures. It's a very slow and steady type of style that they have with their draft. Really need to get some kills, and this is a situation for them. Trolley gonna unleash the rockets. Has a call down angle. Oh, gotta unleash that song. It's gonna connect on to the first rocket. Snowball is gonna be there, which will save the Tusk a little bit of time, but Lubby's not gonna be as lucky. But also blinks out. Lubby actually gonna turn things around with the rocket barrage. Trolley though gonna get mech'd up. Will be just fine. Now Kai gonna get down to the floor. Has no mana. And, well, not much damage. Follow-up, actually. He may live yet, although Blink, Spike, Kai, once again in a little bit of trouble. Jesse Vash coming in very slowly. Rocket gonna plink him, and Winter Wyvern gonna burn to the Ion Shell. Walrus Punch on 1029 as Blossom once again playing some games. Will throw some shards, will miss. Looks like everyone else will retreat, will be safe and sound. First Party lose their 2 supports. Get a little bit of farm in the anti-mage in the meantime, but that's not quite worth it.
No, absolutely not. And with those deaths, First Departure, they're getting very little. Yes, they're getting a little bit of farm on their anti-mage who's getting some space. But it's 15 minutes, and he's only got 2 components for the Battle Fury. This is probably going to be a 20-minute Battle Fury if he can get some uncontested farm. Now, maybe 18 minutes, but Trolley sees him, and he's going to start pushing away the anti-mage out of his own jungle.
He can't really kill off this anti-mage, but he can make his life very difficult, and should a Blinking Lion come in or a Naga Siren come in, then yeah, the anti-mage is just going to die. And the Queen of Pain also is going to go straight for the Orchid. She will have a much bigger opportunity than normal, where the anti-mage is not going to have a Manta style, and the Queen of Pain will have an Orchid. So that's just point click. Your anti-mage is, well, at least not going to escape. He can still do a little bit of damage perhaps, but yeah, this Orchid is going to be at a pretty favorable timing for Mineski. And First Departure, the only game plan I see that they could possibly have is just batten up the hatches, try not to die, and try to get farm.
I don't even think not dying is enough. They need to get some extra kills on top of not dying to make it worth it. Because Mineski, take a look at the net worth for everybody. Mineski is rising. They're closing in towards a 10k net worth lead. They're roughly at about 7.5k EXP. And they're going to keep on, pun not intended, they're going to start snowballing out of control. Whereas it should have been First Departure. Queen of Pain going to go down to Tusk though. That's a nice kill there for Polison. And did he do that with help from Lubby, or was it just...
Yeah. Scream stolen as well, and they get the kill over in mid lane as well. Catch him with the curse, and that's going to be a pretty nice kill again for First Departure. I was just going to say, like, yeah, getting kills is nice, but I don't really see how they do it. If you get initiation like that with the Blinking Tusk, and if you catch the Darkseer by surprise, he only has Guardian Greaves to save himself. You can get these kills, so yeah, First Departure, those are the types of plays that they need to make. Those are the plays that get farm for the Anti-Mage, get space for the Anti-Mage, and if Mineski aren't all in a group, then yeah, that's where Broodmother, that's where Tusk, and even to a lesser extent Anti-Mage, they get a lot more powerful as heroes. So Mineski, they have to be careful not to let this lead slip away. Yes, they are very far ahead. Yes, their Gyrocopter is incredibly stacked right now, but the assassination power of some of these first-party heroes is insane. Up towards the top, oh, Miracle. He's going to get his Spiderlings called down upon lots of extra gold for the Gyrocopter, but we'll force all of them away. Now we have a gem picked up on the Naga Siren. I like this pick, not only because it's versus a Broodmother, but also Naga Siren Illusions get the True Sight as well, if she actually has it in her inventory while she casts the Mirror Image. So lots of spread out True Sight.
Yeah, that's great too. And also the fact that Naga Siren is so tanky, there is going to be a silence under Lubby. Lubby does TP out just in time though. Jules, not enough damage unfortunately. So a bit of a miskill opportunity, but it still sends back that Rubik to base to heal up. For First Departure, they haven't lost all map control. They're going to lose Miracle potentially. They do throw everything, and looks like QQ does have enough with just a Riptide. So that's a really good pickup there for Mineski. That was just a Broodmother. Miracle on a Broodmother. Do you feel like this is the Miracle-esque hero? We do lose a ton of heroes up top. I did not see that Kai gonna go for the TP, but it will get cancelled by Cuckoo and the end snare. Oh, First Departure. It looked like you were coming back, but I think you just went for a U-turn.
Yeah, for only so long, right? They get the jump with the Broodmother. They reinforce pretty well. A little bit of mistiming there from First Departure. Also, trying to go for a Gyrocopter again, who at this point has Sun Yasha and the Drums of Endurance. Not sure exactly how much health he has, but it's probably close to the 2k mark. It's a lot to burn through. So, yeah, Mineski just reinforcing a little bit better than First Departure are at playing aggressively. And as far as like a Miracle hero, you expect Miracle as a player to just be doing all the flashy plays. You have players who go towards mid lane, and you know some of them would farm up like old Arteezy mid lane, even you know that's probably the best example there. But there are other heroes that, or other players rather, that just make the flashy plays and pretty much do everything for the team. Miracle is definitely one of those players, and Broodmother doesn't really fit that play style. Like he's losing quite a few spiderlings right now. It doesn't seem like Miracle is the most comfortable with this hero.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like a Miracle hero, if you know what I mean. Just he fits this completely different playstyle, and Brood just doesn't seem to be it. And they do manage to catch vision of Miracle, but do they want to pursue after him? They do get the internet and the rockets. They're going to be able to chase him down wherever he goes. Miracle, you are a very dead spider, or are you? A scream to death. So again, nice and easy pick off there for Mineski. Miracle, I feel he had a lot of time to back up, but he just kind of underestimated the distance that a Naga Siren can throw the Insnare.
Maybe perhaps he also didn't see the gem on the Naga Siren. This might have been the first time he was actually holding that, so that might have also been the reason he was sticking around. Now that he knows that the Naga Siren has a gem, he has to play extremely safely, but he really can't afford to right now. It's 19-minute Battle Fury, really slow, and now Mineski, they're just going to go straight for the Roche. They know that Palosan sees them, they know that they're going to get poked and prodded, but First Archer really can't do that much about this, except for try to steal it. If you mess up, you immediately die as Palosan, or you might just die anyway. Blink, Orchid, Sonic Wave. Will that pop him? I don't think it will, but it does secure the Aegis for the Gyrocopter. So spending a Sonic Wave for the Aegis, very much so worth it for Mineski.
Absolutely. So now with the Aegis, does Mineski want to go for a push, or are they going to spend a little bit more time farming before they go for a push? Because in all honesty, you look at their heroes, you look at their items, I feel they have enough to just start taking down towers and going up high ground.
At least it's bottom lane.
Yeah, compare it to what First Departure has. First Departure has nothing. They've simply got a Blink Dagger on Polosan, and they've got a Dagon on Miracle, and that's it. The supports have nothing else. They just don't have any more follow-up damage. Because you have a Brood Mother who's never gonna team fight.
Jules is gonna get popped as he blinks way too aggressively. Thinking the Rubik's there by himself is very, very wrong. So First Sparch actually find a pretty nice kill for free, and they will put a lot of hurt into this tower. But in the meantime, Tier 1 has been taken down towards bottom. Cuckoo is in a little bit of trouble versus Miracle. There's no Finger of Death, although now there is. That won't be enough. Now the ultimate gets popped by Miracle. Similarly for the Naga Siren, as they'll both try to walk out. Here comes the Shards, which will kill off the illusions. That's a little bit unfortunate. Now Naga Siren, well, she'll unleash the... Oh, release the song down to a two-man spike with a call down there. Perfectly timed. Where did the Tusk go? Lag. There's the snowball, finally. And now Trolley's going to get hit with that, but I don't know if Palasa can actually escape, especially with the Finger of Death, looking for more. There is no mana for a spike. Now he does have enough. They see Lubby. I don't know if this Rubik can actually escape from this one. Here comes the Rockets. There's the Hex as well, and Lubby's going to die as well. That was a pretty perfect spike, and a pretty unfortunate blink placement for Palasan's Tusk.
Mineski has almost doubled up First Departure in kills. Everything... Okay, First Departure is in a really dire situation. They're supposed to have an anti-mage that's supposed to be ratting for them. They had a Brood Mother that was supposed to create space for the anti-mage, and then you had the rest of the team that was supposed to go for these little pickoffs and to just keep them in the game while the anti-mage was farming and Miracle just doing his own shenanigans. That's not happening. Anti-mage is farming, but his Battle Fury came so late. He will get his Yasha in a moment, and we're probably looking at about a 30-minute Manta style, but this is very late. And you compare it to what Mineski has, Mineski could finish this game in 15 minutes max.
So 2 minutes is what you mean.
2 minutes. But look at Trolley's inventory. He is so fat. He's almost got a butterfly.
Oh, Miracle gonna run straight into the line right now. There's a spike available. We'll throw it, but there's no True Sight. Oh, there is True Sight. QQ's gonna come right in. Miracle get poked and prodded, vacuum back into a wall. Well, that's not going to be lethal towards anyone, but it will make First Archer really scared about initiating. Trolley just wants to use the Aegis right now, and it looks like he might do that, but a spike on a Miracle is going to get the kill first. Trolley's still alive right now as Jules does jump right in onto Lubby. That Shout Strike should be lethal. Sonic Wave will kill off the Winter Wyvern, and Palasan's stuck in a corner. Snowball once again will connect to Trolley, but no, actually will go straight towards Jules. He blinks out, he'll be fine. But Trolley just wants to use this Aegis, and he just can't die. Palasan's going to get Shadow Struck, and Jules is going to chase him right back into his fountain. Shards are there, Lul's now arriving. But up against so many heroes, not much the anti-mage can actually do about this. Maybe he gets the Aegis, but that's just doing Trolley a favor right now. They pull him back into a net, kill him off the Finger. Here comes a Snowball, blink out from Palasan, but how far? Not far enough. He's going to die as well. And at this point, Mineski are just fountain farming them. That's GG. This has been a quite short, kind of unimpressive game from FD. Impressive match, rather.
About 2 minutes after, probably a minute after I said that. Oh my goodness. But my god. Mineski looked incredible.
Minutes.
I I said 15 minutes, and it happened in 10
You should
minutes.
stop
But
making predictions. It just
I know.
ends games.
I know. You know what? I could probably use it as a betting system. So if I want to bet and I have a particular time where I want the game to finish, or if my team is ahead, just tell them, oh, no, you'll finish in 10 minutes. I get my items. So much money, guys.
That's clearly
But,
the way to go. I don't know why my thing's
it's
so
okay.
messed up.
It's okay.
Whatever.
I can
But
kind of
yeah, this has
cheat.
been... Okay, what's going on here? This has been probably one of the most one-sided matches I've seen, considering the two teams. Like, these two teams are supposed to be pretty evenly matched. I do think Mineski are a little bit more favored than the 50-50-ish split that many people are giving them. But First Departure are not supposed to get rocked that hard. I don't really know what's going on with them today, lately. I don't know.
I felt like it was a draft problem and also some executional errors. And also Mineski just playing really well. You look at the way they're playing and they look incredible. Do you know who they're playing tomorrow? Because I hear we have grand finals.
Yeah, it's
and,
MSI.
You know, grand finals hype.
MSI,
MSI.
Evo GT, best of 5. So that should be pretty interesting.
MSI. Who do you think's going to come out ahead in Mineski versus MSI, do you think? Do you think Mineski looks incredible?
Mineski are like always underrated. I think that's a thing that happens to them just as a team. That being said, MSI are pretty new. They're pseudo Rave. That's like, you know, Rave remnants, let's say. So they have some pretty big names over there. I think it's gonna be a close series, about how as close as this one should have been. If that
So you
makes
think
sense.
it'll be 2-1 in favor of Mineski?
It's a best of 5, so yeah, 3-2,
Oh, best of 5.
something like that.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
I'll probably say 3-2 in favor of. I have to say Mineski as well, honestly.
no, I think MSI are gonna. I think MSI are.
You think
slightly
MSI?
stronger.
I'll
I
say
mean, after
Mineski
this game, it's
and-
kind of hard to say because they just completely demolish First Departure. But that also is like, I think you could take this as an outlier. It's like, well, First Departure, bad day, bad something. I don't know.
Yeah, something happened because you look at the way they played and something wasn't right at all.
Well,
So with that said,
no Blink Dagger on any heroes in First Departure this time. At least not anyone who
no,
shouldn't
it was
have
on
it.
Paulson.
Yeah, it was on
Paulson.
Paulson, but he should have it. No Lion Blink Dagger like last game. Guys, we are done for
Oh.
today. I feel like we probably waited longer than we actually casted for, but that's fine. Mineski are going to steamroll their way through First Departure 2-0, and that is going to be that. If you enjoyed the cast, and we sincerely hope you did, be sure to follow the stream. That's all down below. Follow us on Twitter at HeflaTV. Facebook is HeflaTV as well. And follow the casters at Danelie Casts, at Mikelorus on Twitter. All that good stuff. And we will see you tomorrow, an hour earlier than we started today, so 13 CEST. I don't know what that is in the Asian time zone, so you guys have to do your own thing. But yeah, we'll be there for best finals Grand 5, Mineski versus MSI. And for right now, we're done. See you later, guys.